Merry Christmas.
La 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 la. Merry Christmas.
Due to financial, social and political situations, Christmas has had to be cancelled this year. The Prime Minister has forced all shops to close early in December to avoid the Christmas shopping rush. There have been no further plans to reinstate Christmas as a national holiday. Children and adults will be carrying out their daily routine on the 25th of December from now on.
Better get the name right, I'll tell you, because these guys are on the phone, and you know what? They're my kind of guys, so I don't want to BS around. Let me introduce you to Sam Morrison and Bart Robley. Hey, say hello, guys.
Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks so much for having us, man. This is fantastic. We really appreciate it.
Well, you know what? I found you, and I was telling Lisa that I use music to express my feelings, and I had posted it up, and here I went and I was listening to it, and then I kind of was listening, and I went, wait a minute, and I went and listened, and you're so close to his voice and the tempo, and that's what I get into when I get into covers. I say first, you learn how to do the damn cover. Then if you get that down, then you can kind of do your variation. I think that's cool. And of course, always props to the artist. But how did you that song that we just heard? Tell me about that, because that's new.
Yeah, that's a new song. Well, again, with the Sam Morrison Band, we have two separate shows that we do, especially like your listeners there in Phoenix will know. We have our own original stuff that we do that is Southern rock, kind of like I Will Always Stand that you just played. And then we have a Bob Seger tribute show that we do called Turn the Page. And our Turn the Page show actually plays out the Phoenix area quite a bit. But the song that you just played, I Will Always Stand, that's kind of our response to all the celebrity athletes that are refusing to stand for the national anthem. Well, we do a lot of stuff for veterans. I mean, we play a lot of that sort of benefits and such for the guys in the military, and we've actually done a couple of military tours. We've gone over to Europe, we've gone over to Korea playing for the troops. And, I understand that he thinks that what he's doing is a way to fight the injustice that he feels he's being dealt. But at the same time, the national anthem is so tied in with the military that it's just a slap in the face to everybody that's ever served.
You're the kind of music that I like to listen to, and sports is the kind of thing that people go to relax, not to have a political statement made in which it comes down to shaming our country. There is a point where you got to draw the damn line, and I don't endorse it. And we got Firefan coming up, and I'll tell you what, I'll guarantee you, any game that happens in, I will not go on. So onward with this, and we're going to go into the next song, which is what now I hear in the background coming in. What is it?
Okay, well, out of the Seger catalog, I guess the biggest one that we've got is probably our old-time rock and roll. And you can go ahead and play that one, and we've got 3 million streams on Spotify with that one, and people really dig it. So go ahead and play that one next.
And here it comes. You're listening to the new Mark Neuhart Show, heard globally and sometimes in other languages where you don't understand. But I'll tell you what, you'll understand this coming up. We'll be right back.
I'd rather hear some blues or funky old soul. There's only one sure way to get me to go. Stop playing old time and rock and roll. Call me around and call me what you will. Say I'm old fashioned, say I'm over the hill. The days of music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time and rock and roll. Still like that
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right, Fire fans, you know Wendy Lane, the sexy chef with her hot sauce. She'll be having events coming up, and you need to be paying attention to the Valley Sports Update with Wendy, where we find out what's hot for those parties you're going to have at those events coming up when you're sharing the tokens and all those trivia questions. So look forward to Wendy Lane hot sauce, and maybe you'll be able to get that Christmas package with a triple bottle of autographed Wendy Lane sexy chef hot sauce.
Get some today.
Did you pre-register? Things are getting too spicy for the pepper. Would you buy Anita Mandakiss a beer from me and tell her, make it a rough one, though. She likes that Samuel Adams, that stout lager.
You got it, man. I'll buy it for her.
All right, so that was a great tune that we just heard there. And now we're going to go into, because you guys are blue-collar guys, you're working men. You probably haven't been musicians since you came out of the womb, but it sounds like you had music in your blood when you started. Give me a little, let's say, anthology of Sam Morrison and Bart Robley. Take it away.
Tell them the story. Well, I got in the band with Sam about 12 years ago, and kind of going back to the song "I Will Always Stand," the first one you played before Old Time. We started really the first gig I did with Sam was a couple gigs locally here around California. I was subbing for his drummer, and then his drummer left the band, and he said, "Hey, I've got a tour of Europe coming up, and the gig's yours if you want it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I went over to Europe with him, and it was a military tour. We played for the United States military all across the Balkans. We played in Bosnia, Croatia, Hungary, and Macedonia, Kosovo.
I salute you. I didn't get a chance to shake your hand, but I'll guarantee I will. And I cast our respect from the FEW, the Foundation for Exceptional Warriors, for your service. So carry on.
Well, it was just amazing playing for the servicemen and women over there in the Balkans. And when we came home, I'd always been a very patriotic person, but after that, I just had such a great love for this country of ours. And so anyway, I've been in the band ever since, and we've gone through some changes and had different players come and go, but the lineup that we have now, we've had together since it was 2001 when we kind of got the lineup that we have together now. And we were working out in Las Vegas. We were playing a place called the Railhead, and we were working just as a working band. We were the opening band for a group called Yellow Brick Road, and we were doing the Southern Rock Show. And within the Southern Rock Show, we had a handful of tunes. We had by Bob Seger. We had just a handful of his tunes that we did. And we'd always get comments after the show about how much Sam sounded like Seger. He's like, he doesn't try to. He just sounds like Bob Seger. And so we would get a lot of requests for more Seger tunes. And Sam came up with the idea, and he goes, we ought to try doing one of these tribute nights because there's bands around town. They're just doing a night of a certain artist's music. He goes, why don't we try doing a tribute to Bob Seger and see if it works? And we thought, okay, what the heck? So we did it. We put the band together, started rehearsing it, and fast forward all these years later, now we got signed to Titan Tribute Media. We've recorded like 7 albums worth of Bob Seger's material. We've sold close to like 900,000 downloads, tons of downloads on iTunes, and we've been streamed over 3 million times on Spotify, and it's just, crazy busy. Life is good. We just played on the world's greatest tribute bands. Our show just played on the world's greatest tribute band, seen by somewhat 48 million people. And so that's kind of like the Reader's Digest version of, how it all came together.
Cool. Now, here's the thing. Tribute bands, I love them because sometimes tribute bands will give us the natural, the things that we remember, whereas the actual band has then gone on to do other things where they no longer sound like them anymore, or in the case of the Babies, where they not only sound as good as they did, but now they are even better. And that's the thing is is what you're doing with the tribute band. I love it. You got Jack Probilski with the Chicago Authority. I'll tell you what, I'll listen to him with with their music any day, because it's like seeing them live and play. Now you got a whole band there. You got Bart the Bart. What do you do?
I'm the drummer.
I tell you what, I made so many mistakes having 4 guys on one show at one time calling from everywhere that I've kind of stepped on. I check every time, but you're the drummer, which I tell you, I respect drummers, because that's one of the things I haven't really kind of accomplished yet, is the drumming. But I use my acoustics.
Me either. I mean, I
get the hell out of here. Hey to Reno Masato, by the way. Your next song coming up now is going to be one of the ones that you guys wrote and created. And let me ask you about the process now. You did a version of what was it, Freebird? What was it? Let me see. You do so many other versions also of the covers.
Well, it's just a matter of doing your homework. With the shows that we do, like I said, we have 2 shows. We have a Southern Rock show, and then we have the Bob Seger show. And a lot of it is I just pick songs that I sound like the guy.
Okay. Well.
And then we do our homework and learn the parts and make sure that you play them right. I mean,
people that some of them, they're in all stages. Some are even thinking about doing it, but they don't think they should.
I think a lot of it comes back to what Sam said. I mean, everybody puts in a lot of homework. I mean, I know speaking for myself, I spend a great deal of time in my studio. I have a studio at the house that I work out of. I'm a drum teacher. I have some.
Oh, now that's good. I didn't know that. That is good. Carl Verheyen does YouTube videos too to help people learn certain things. Of Supertramp, he'll be on this show. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just really. That's good.
Okay. And I have some YouTube videos up on playing drums, and I do a lot of drum lessons. And so I'm constantly working at the craft or teaching the craft. So when it comes to actually doing a song for the band, if we're gonna do a cover tune, let's say, and Sam says, okay, I want to learn, whatever song it is. You mentioned Freebird. We're gonna learn the Freebird, and we're gonna do Freebird. The way that I've always kind of looked at it is, if you're going to stick your neck out to play it and you're going to work on the song, when I'm at home working on a part, I kind of envision myself, well, what if I was actually going to go play with Leonard Skinner and I was going to play Freebird? They're not going to want some bastardized version of the drum part. They're going to want the drum part. So when I learn a drum part, I learn it as if I'm going to play it for the artist that wrote it, because that's what they want, and I think you're paying the music itself it's respect when you do that. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is the song. At the very end of the day, all the BS aside, in the show business end of it, the most important thing is when you step on the stage, that's that's hollowed ground. When you walk up there to play, you get up there to play. I think Buddy Rich said it best, when you come to play, come to play. And that's the way I've always kind of looked at learning the tunes, And I think I think that's the way the whole band kind of has looked at it. And that's why, like Sam said, everybody just does their homework, and next thing you know, the song's put together and people enjoy it. And the audiences can tell too. I mean, that's the thing. Is like, there's a million bands that play old time rock and roll that just go up there and hack their way through it. But when you do your homework, like Bart was saying, and you learn the part and you pay the music the respect that it deserves, and you're able to pull that off, that's what separates you from the bar bands. Because when people hear it exactly the way that they remember hearing it. Okay, another thing about when you're learning the songs and learning them just like the record, one of the things that you have to think about too is that these have been the best songwriters, the best producers, the best arrangers in the world that have put these songs together. And so when you actually learn them like the record, you're learning how to arrange, you're learning how to produce, and you're learning how to put parts together, rather than just doing the bar band kind of a thing. And so that's really helped us out a lot in our original material, like, talking to your indie band, to learn how to arrange and learn how to put the bass and the kick drums together, learn how to come up with the keyboard parts that are going to complement each other. And so every time we take a song and we tear it apart like that, you know, not only are we learning it to play it like the record and like Bart was saying, give the song its respect, but it also teaches you as a musician how to arrange, and I think that's a really valuable thing.
Yeah, I think I totally agree, and I think the one thing that Sam points out a lot, it's a term that you said a few times, you call it complex simplicity. And I think where a lot of bands shoot themselves in the foot is when they're out there playing bars and they're trying to, you know, break in a new group. Each individual musician wants to play every lick that they know. They want to play they want to play a million miles an hour, and they're playing for the other musicians in the room. They're not playing for the song. And sometimes when you're learning a song, an individual part may not be that complicated, you know, and so a lot of younger musicians will think, well, gosh, I'm above that. I'm a better player than that. So they just sit there and blow chops, and it ruins the song. And I think that, and it's not all songs that way. There are some songs that are very complex, but if you're playing a song that doesn't call for that, it's just a good song. Well, play the song. You don't try to impress the other musicians in the room. Listen, play for the song and impress the song. Again, it comes back to the song. And like Sam said, it's, you know, somebody's already written it, somebody's already arranged it, somebody's already produced it, you know. Who are who are we as musicians to say, well, I could have done it better? You know, the song was already a hit. Play that hit. Play that song. Play it the way that it was.
And, you know, simple can be a good thing. I mean, you want to hear simple on one of the most best-selling records of all time. Listen to Michael Jackson's Thriller record. Seriously, the drums on that are boom,
I'm telling you.
boom, chick. Yeah. It's so simple that it's almost like, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, but I mean,
you know what? You're right, and I mean to interrupt you, Sam, but honestly, I mean, I'm a drummer, and believe me, I've been guilty of this. Usually, the person that's the most guilty of overplaying in a band is a drummer, and I'm the drummer. You know, I tell that to everybody, every drummer I know. I'm like, you know, look, you know, hold the groove together. The three most important things about music are groove, time, and feel. It's not how many notes you can play, you know.
Exactly.
Now, that is true. I will tell you this, though, and also with that is if you have horns, a saxophone can be very hard to suppress in an indoor deal because, you know, I do a Jerry Rafferty that I can do on the keyboard with sax, just like I do. Lily was here from Candy Dolfer and David Stewart. But I like when I do live, this buddy of mine joins me, of course, and yeah, I always get it. I'm like, try to aim it out, and it's just like hard to do. But with drums now, subtle is a lot stronger, and then you have some room to do the crescendo, to bring it out. And I think that's what's missed too sometimes with drummers.
Well, you know, that's one of our band mottos, though, is less is more. I mean, you know, a lot of times less is more. It's a more powerful statement when you don't overplay it.
Yeah. It really is. It's a much more powerful statement, and again, I mean, it's what every younger musician has to realize is that your part is just one part in the greater sum of the whole. I mean, you're playing one piece, you know, and if you're the drummer, you know, the drummer is responsible for the tempo. The drummer is responsible for guiding the band and telling the band where to go and setting the band up, you know, going from section to section of the song, and everything. And if you're a drummer and you're overplaying, you're not only are you stepping on the rest of the band and stepping on solos and stepping on lyrics, but you're kind of sometimes throwing the band off. You're not giving them a setup. Like, you know, in our case, we have two guitar players, a saxophone player, and a keyboard player, and everybody, you know, if we're playing a song that has like a lot of solos in it, you know, and it's, you know, everybody gets an 8-bar solo. Well, I've got to give the setups knowing, okay, we're coming out of the 8-bar, it's your turn. Okay, now we're out of this 8 bars, it's your turn. You know, you don't step on the band, you set the band up. That's very important. It's an incredibly important thing as a drummer to be able to do.
Yeah, you want everybody in the band to shine when it's their time to shine. And, you know, if you're stepping on each other, then it's just rude. I mean, you know, you don't want to do that. You want to come across, you know, to be a want to make everybody, be the center of attention when it's their turn.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. I mean, it's a band, it's a team. It really is, and that's the way you have to look at it. It is a team.
We're gonna play. We're gonna be playing a song coming up. Hey guys, what do you think we ought to go out with on this show, huh?
Let's play Whiskey.
Whiskey. Oh, that's right. You guys got so many cool tunes. I can't keep track of them. It's ridiculous. Don't even give me grief about that. I've learned so much about you. You guys are my kind of guys. I tell you, because when I'm playing the music, I'm like, oh man, I got to go get my keyboard out, and you'll hear me like playing in the background a little bit while you got try to keep it down. But man, oh my God, you guys are freaking awesome. Thanks for being on the show. Now, you got some events coming up, right? You got some events coming up, right? And you're going to be, when do you think we can get back in Phoenix here?
Yeah, so we've got, after the first of the year, we're going to be coming up, we're going to be in Tucson at Casino del Sol. I think it's the third week of January. I know it's the week of NAMM because we got to get back in time to do some NAMM stuff. But, and then I got a private party that we're going to be doing there in the Phoenix area as well. But we come out there at least a couple of times a year.
Yeah, we'll be back in the Phoenix area also in I think it's in March. We have a run across the Phoenix.
Oh yeah, you're right. We've got about 4 or 5 shows we're gonna be doing. So yeah, the best thing to do on that is check our Facebook page, turnthepageonline.com, or our website, and you can also check sammorrisonband.com. We keep all of our dates up on the calendar there.
Well, as all of you know, they'll also have a page on Play AM 777 Promotions where we promote the best, and we also promote the best. Okay, so here's the deal. Go to the Facebook pages. You'll see them everywhere, just like it was with the babies and the rest of the deal on the Neuhart show. And if you got a question that you'd like to get to us personally, you can check in with Lisa Sue, okay? If she'll answer you, then I'll pay attention, because she's our genie. And here we go. We're going to come in with a little cue for a sponsor, and we'll be right back with these guys, I'm telling you. 10 years from now, they won't even be able to talk to me. Probably they'll be like, "I'm sorry, Mark. Well, we're like in we've been touring Mars, and you know it's an 8-month trip. But my God, the dust here is great." Hi, everybody, and hey, Agatha, how you doing? Maggie and Jesse. We'll also be sending you all over to the real estate show. Now, how does that go down, Lisa? What is that? Explain to everybody.
My friend's K.Hall, and he is Brevard's best realtor, #1 realtor with Remax Illy, and he does a radio show with Rob, and they are on the Space Coast radio show, and they give you all sorts of information, tips, real estate tips, and buying, selling, investing in real estate. They are the #1 source when it comes to, buying and selling real estate, and also here in the Space Coast. So you want to check them out, definitely. And if you're thinking about buying some property next to me, you want to call Jesse. Jesse Hall.
Well, from all of us at Play AM 777 Records, Play AM 777 Promotions, and the Austin Stone Players, we wish all of you a happy holiday, and thanks for all your support.
Ta-da! Tired of the same old routine. Going out to bars, church basement bingo, maybe even checking the classifieds. Well, it's time to check in to Love Thy Matchmaker. That's right, Love Thy Matchmaker, where you get a real match, one-on-one care, and we'll be there when you get distressed or when you're happy. We're looking to find your mate, so check us out at playam777promotions.com/Love Thy Matchmaker.